Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another AGT Golden Buzzer discussion. And we have so many thoughts already about Roberta Battaglia, who has just received, as a mere matter of minutes ago, Sofia Vergara's Golden Buzzer. She is through to whatever the live shows are going to be this season. We got a lot to talk about with her performance, her backstory, oddly a number of common links between us and Roberta.
So many common links between us.
We're going to get into all of this, but before we do, if you guys do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We have a lot of America's Got Talent coverage coming all season.
We got to start with the connections that we have with her. Like, I felt my excitement just getting more and more and more. First I heard her and her mom talking. I was like, oh, they're from Canada for sure. They've got the accent. I'm also from Canada.
Yes.
Then it was, oh, we're actually from Toronto. I was born in Toronto and I was raised in Toronto. I was there for 40 years. Then it was, oh, and I also have a Morkie, half Maltese, half Yorkie. So do we! She's not named Happy, but she's named Coco Chanel Vanderwoof, also a Canadian. Yes!
That was the most random part of it, because there's, first and foremost, was there a part of you when she said Toronto where you wanted to go like Howie, where he just like stood up and was like, whoa!
Yes! But more so when she said she had a Morkie. I was like, yes!
I feel like we're all kind of in a small little group here of Morkie owners and Morkie lovers, and I feel like in solidarity with Roberta as a fellow Morkie lover, we are like all the more inclined to want to root with her.
Legit, I've never met anybody else with a Morkie. Like, I've seen some people online when I share pictures of Coco Chanel online, some people will be like, oh, I have a Morkie too, and it's really cool. And a lot of people are like, oh, she looks like a schnauzer. I know you're not here for the dog thing, but just the same. When she said Morkie, I was just so shocked. I was like, oh my goodness, there's somebody else. Maybe it's a Toronto thing. We like our Morkies.
Yeah, who knows? But I'm happy for her. I'm happy for us. We have someone to root for. But beyond that, she is extraordinary. Her voice is just like, it cuts through like nobody's business.
10 years old.
I'll admit that I tried to do a little bit of research on her leading into the episode, because I looked through some of the info that America's Got Talent released, and she's already had kind of a somewhat viral performance of this on Breakfast Television, which is a big morning show up in Toronto.
It's huge.
Yeah, and that song was Lady Gaga's Shallow that she performs with Bradley Cooper, which I feel like I've heard about 100 renditions of Shallow over the past year or so, and it can be kind of overdone, and I definitely did not expect to be hearing a 10-year-old singer doing Shallow.
Not with that voice. Man, her voice has this beautiful maturity about it that I did not expect. I mean, there's a lot of really good young singers, but that was not a voice that I expected to come out of someone who was 10. There felt like there was a maturity and a soul to that voice that is many years past where she is.
It's even more surprising when you sort of look at how she was before she started singing, and she was clearly very nervous. You know, she looked as though she had never been on TV before at all, and she was having a hard time sort of seemingly getting the song started, and I feel like a big part of it is, and I'm not that much of a singer, I have sang before, not anywhere near as successfully as Roberta.
You're all right.
But I think the big challenge here, though, is when you have a voice like that, which I think is one beyond comprehension to us.
Yeah.
Your worst fear is probably that you're gonna start singing and then your voice is gonna crack, or you're going to forget a lyric or something, and then like that is gonna be the impression that's sort of left. It's better that she took her time, you know, got a drink of water, settled in, and then boom.
Yeah, because, I mean, nerves can be your worst enemy. You could have a beautiful voice like this. We saw this on American Idol with Francisco Martin, where his voice is gorgeous. Her voice is another level gorgeous. Francisco Martin has a beautiful voice, but man, her voice is something else. But we saw his nerves really get to him to the point that he was on stage and forgetting lines and forgetting some of his song lyrics and stuff. So I was also really glad to see her take that moment, take a drink of water, breathe in, regroup, get started again.
Yeah, and you can see that she loves to do this, but also still that she's young. She's still trying to figure out exactly how to be on stage, how to perform, how to really nail it. There's probably just like infinite amounts of pressure. I mean, we're both familiar with the plane trip from Toronto to LA. It is not a short trip at all.
It is not a short trip.
So just getting out there, knowing everything that's riding on it, but then still nailing not just the song, but there is the part of Shallow, which I consider to be the hard difficulty level, to use a video game analogy.
Yep.
We all know where this is. It is the big Lady Gaga run, and she did it in kind of her own interesting sort of way, where she still managed to hit a lot of the notes that were in there and actually keep the voice throughout and not dip off at all.
What was interesting about it is also that she picked this song, which is level hard. It is very, very hard. But she did pick this song that a lot of people have chosen to sing in the past on singing shows. So the bar is pretty high already. It's a Lady Gaga song that is extremely difficult. Plus, everybody's heard this song a lot. So how do you go on there and make it your own and make it different? And I think that she was really able to do that just with her voice. And a lot of times people have to go on and change arrangements or do it a little bit different so that it feels like their own. But her voice is so mature that it already felt like this was her song.
Let's give America's Got Talent now a surprisingly large amount of credit. And here's, Coco Chanel has moved over here. But
and Coco Chanel's abandoned me.
Yeah, well, let's give the show some credit for actually genuinely surprising me, because I am so ingrained in the last person on the night, on the auditions at least, that's going to be where the golden buzzer is. Yep. They're not going to try to trick me and throw it somewhere else. They got me tonight by putting her a little bit earlier on, and so I like the element of surprise there. Mm-hmm. I could kind of sense that the golden buzzer was coming the moment we started getting the lengthy backstory after the performance was done. And they're sort of showing Sofia. Do you think Sofia, when she heard that Roberta was a Modern Family fan, did that tip the scales even more?
No.
I don't think so either, but I think it's just...
I think we're all Modern Family fans.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And I think really, though, moving forward, she's going to have, hopefully, some of those early jitters kind of under her belt a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm really curious if she's going to pick a huge song like this with such a hard difficulty right away. I'm very curious to know what she is going to do next, because there's only so many songs that are harder than that, and each performance does need to be raised.
It does. And I think the interesting part of this is going to be simply this, that when we talked about American Idol and Francisco, when they did sort of the Idol at home stuff, Francisco actually seemed to be better and better in that environment. Like, is Roberta going to have another gear if AGT doesn't end up doing a sort of live in front of an audience or even just in front of the judges? If she's at home, is she going to up the ante even more?
Yeah, or, it could go in the opposite direction. Her voice is so much bigger than Francisco's, and having that whole auditorium, it just lifted her voice even more, that it just was so big and so gorgeous that I wonder if being at home might then people be like, well, I remember the audition. The audition was so huge, what's happening at home? Kind of like what happened to another person on Idol named Dylan.
I think it is. All of this is interesting to sort of wonder about. I think more so than anything else, I hope this performance from Roberta sticks with people for a while, because kind of the trade-off with being a golden buzzer is you get this awesome moment in an audition episode, but then you basically disappear and we don't see you for any of the middle part of the show, and then you sort of come back. So I hope she sort of stays fresh in people's minds, but for now, Morkies aside, a really, really great performance, and I think something that people are going to be talking about, which is what you want with this show.
It was such a great performance, and just for me personally, it was I haven't been home in a really long time, so it was really nice. And I've been missing home a lot. So to have her come on the show, just personally for me, made me feel like I was having a connection from home. So, I mean, having the beautiful voice and for me having that connection, it was such a nice surprise for me tonight.
Yeah, and it's so much fun to just see people come on here and completely sort of blow our expectations out of the water. I thought she was going to be good. And
Love her.
Like, I'd even heard little bits and pieces of her previous show, but I still didn't think she was going to be that good. Wow, all right. Well, what did you guys think about Roberta's performance on America's Got Talent tonight? Do you think it's the worthy golden buzzer for the episode? Let us know in the comments. And if you do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and support us further by checking the link in the description to the store, and we'll see you here next time.